And now to Florida. Let's call it what it is. Florida is ground zero for culture wars right now in our country. And the newest threat is the Don't Say Gay bill.
The bill bans any discussion of sexual identity or gender identity in the state schools. It's targeted at primary grade levels. Parents can sue a school district for any violations. Critics, including openly gay Florida lawmaker Shervin Jones, says it's cruel and targets kids who need support the most.
LGBTQ youth are 4 times more likely to commit suicide, not because of their sexual orientation, but because of how they're treated. Not only is it irresponsible of us, but it's also dangerous of us to be doing, considering the fact that we have a state of 22 million people, a melting pot of many different race, religious, and sexual orientations.
President Joe Biden weighed in, tweeting members of the LGBTQ community, especially kids, saying they are loved and accepted as they are. The president says his administration will continue to fight for the protections and safety they deserve. Florida's GOP-controlled Senate Education Committee moved the bill through after hearing from community members.
This bill is disgusting, effectively pushing LGBTQ kids back into the closets, and is motivated by a religious minority subjecting their radical views on everyone else in what I thought was the freest state that ever freed. The Florida legislature has successfully manufactured something that fearmongers and talking heads can only dream of, and that is a legitimate slippery slope. Genuinely ask yourself, who is next year's target?
The White House says the Don't Say Gay bill represents a trend across the country now where GOP leaders are using students as political pawns.
Let's bring in Representative Michele Raynor, the Florida House's first openly gay Black woman, and Kierra Johnson, Executive Director of the National LGBTQ Task Force. Representative, let's start with you. You're in the trenches as this bill moves it through in Tallahassee. And I think about the fact that students in Florida already had to deal with gun violence, and now after the Pulse nightclub shooting there, now have to worry about their own identity. So how is this going to impact the students of Florida?
I mean, we know how it's going to impact the students of Florida. I mean, when I try to kind of even put into words where we're at, this bill is beyond harmful. As you heard my colleague say in the opening, LGBTQ students and children are, 4 times more likely to commit suicide. These are facts. The Republicans know this. These are facts that have been well documented. And these are bills that no one has asked for. And it's so interesting that Governor Ron DeSantis calls Florida the freest state. And this is the free state of Florida. But as I've been saying, this is only a free state of Florida if you look like him, if you act like him, if you love like him, and if you belong to the same party that he belongs to. And it is just incredibly disheartening to see this type of vile legislation move through the legislature at a rapid pace.
So the problem is with all of this is that it doesn't define developmentally appropriate times for talking about age. This bill basically talks about gender identity in primary grade levels or in a manner that is not age appropriate or developmentally appropriate for students. But the bill doesn't specify how age appropriate and developmentally appropriate would even be defined. So how do you address that?
Well, I think that's purposeful. It's purposeful that this bill is ambiguous. It's purposeful that it's ambiguous because it is made to have challenges in the court. And so when we're thinking about, what is developmentally appropriate, and even there's language in the bill that talks about a teacher may not encourage. What is it? What the student comes in and says, I have 2 moms or 2 dads, talk about my family, and the teacher allows that student to talk about their family, is that encouraging? So this bill on its face, it is purposeful for it to be ambiguous because I believe the GOP wants to see court challenges, especially from a conservative court that we have here in Florida, in order to further discriminatory laws here in Florida.
Kierra, let's bring you into this conversation because thinking about how this is just one example of many. Is Governor DeSantis looking to use this as a national platform for himself?
I think that's I think that's a valid question. I think we have to keep our eyes on that, right? This isn't the first time we've seen politicians use our communities, use our children, right, to build their political platforms on. And, we know that what happens in Florida starts to become contagious. And this is not the first time, and it will not be the last time that our children are going to be the targets of our government. And at some point, when do we just say enough is enough? Any bill that puts children in harm's way, that's a no-brainer. We can't let that happen.
Yeah, and also what comes into play are parents who are perhaps parents from a same-sex marriage, and how will they explain this to their children. But I want to go to the Transportation Secretary, Pete Buttigieg, to hear how he weighs in on this controversial bill that's making its way through the State House in Florida. Let's watch.
It tells youth who are different or whose families are different that there's something wrong with them out of the gate. And I do think that contributes to the shocking levels of suicidal thoughts and suicide attempts among LGBTQ youth. Chasten, my husband, pointed out that, if our kids someday, some Monday morning, come into class and kids are sitting around, the teacher's got the morning circle talking about how everybody's weekends went, and one of them says, I had the best weekend with my dad's. Is a teacher supposed to say, no, we don't talk about that here?
Kierra, your response to what we just heard from the Transportation Secretary.
It resonates with me in a deep way. I'm a parent. I have a kid about to start elementary school, one in middle school, and one in high school. So send me all your love. And the beautiful thing about education and school is that kids have the opportunity to live vulnerably and love deeply, without judgment, without pain, without the pressure of our politics from government. And I do worry about our kids. I've seen, literally, my son came home one day and was like, "Mommy, I told my friends I had two mommies, and my friend said, I wish I had two mommies." And they had a whole conversation about what it meant just to be in different kinds of families. I just, why wouldn't we want to create environments that create safety, right? That create loving environments, places where they can be affirmed, places where they can learn about other people and their cultures and family lives that they wouldn't have access to otherwise.
Mm-hmm. Representative, maybe you can help us bring some people along in this conversation, because I know from personal experience, and we all have friends and families in the broader communities of color that themselves still struggle with acknowledging the reality in front of them of LGBTQ life now being talked about publicly. Is that then a solution that they need to solve on their own time and not through public schools?
Listen, I know I've been Black all my life, right? And I know that, even when I came out, for my parents who are older, it was very, we had to talk through some things, right? I grew up in the church, but here's the thing I want to level set. Gay people have always been here. LGBTQ people have always been here. Black LGBTQ people have always been here. And I think that we want to have the conversations. And I don't think that, and even the governor was talking about, well, I can't really point to any conversations that have been inappropriate in schools. And to Kierra's point, I think that schools and is a wonderful way to foster these conversations for children. And then also they're able to come home and talk to their parents. And then sometimes you're able to teach your parents. And as we know, children a lot of times are the best teachers, right? And they're able to even foster and open conversations for their parents. So I think, especially in our communities and communities of color, when we think about the intersectionalities of race and gender identity, or race and sexual orientation. When we say to a child, no, you don't matter, then you're telling a Black child they don't matter because they're Black, and they don't matter because of how they identify or who they love. And that is a recipe for complete harmful disaster.
Appreciate both of you joining us tonight. Trial attorney and Florida State Representative Michele Raynor, Kierra Johnson, Executive Director of the National LGBTQ Task Force.